not bad for being 49 years old. Bernard Hopkins is a living legend. He will forever solidify his career in the as one of the world's best that has ever laced up the gloves. And I heard him say he's not done yet. I mean, he just faced a guy that was he was a big puncher that's never been past 8 rounds, and the guy that's 49 years old was able to take him the distance. So obviously, I mean, Bernard Hopkins deserves and will always get all the respect in the world from anybody who knows boxing or who hasn't even seen boxing ever in their life. What Bernard Hopkins has accomplished and what he tried to accomplish tonight obviously is commendable. So before we bring up Saddam, Kathy Duva will call up her fighter.
Okay, hi everybody. So, before we bring up the participants in the main event, we have these gentlemen here. So it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the newly crowned #1 contender in the IBF for the opportunity to fight tonight's champion. He is from France, and he is a friend of ours, and I'm very happy for him that he won tonight, and I'd like to bring him up so he can say a few words to you. His name is Najib Momeni. Come on, Najib.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci pour votre accueil. Je suis content d'avoir laissé ce combat se faire entre Hopkins et Sergey Kovalev.
Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight, and I'm glad that the fight with Hopkins, that I laid to fight Hopkins-Kovalev tonight.
Ça m'a permis de bien observer les deux styles différents des deux boxeurs et de aujourd'hui savoir comment gagner le nouveau champion du monde.
I've been watching the fight tonight very closely, and now I have my own gameplay to be the next light heavyweight IBF champion of the world.
Je remercie Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya and Man Evans de m'avoir permis de boxer ce soir devant vous.
And I'd like to thank once again Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya, and Main Events Kathy Duva to fight tonight in front of you. This is my second fight on American soil.
Je remercie aussi mon agent Christelle Ojou, ainsi que mon entraîneur Samuel Forimon et Abel Sanchez qui m'a servi de cornerman ce soir.
And I'd like to thank also all my team and Christelle Ojou, my agent, and Abel Sanchez, who was the trainer tonight in my corner. Thank you very much, Abel.
Je vous donne rendez-vous très bientôt et j'espère que j'aurai très bientôt l'opportunité d'affronter le nouveau champion du monde unifié.
And I just want to say that we'll be back soon because I'm ready now, because the fight earlier was just a warm-up for him. I'm ready now to fight the light heavyweight champion. I'm ready for unification, actually. Right? I'm ready for unification championship.
Thank you too much for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now to introduce to you a young man who proved everybody wrong. Who, wow, what a terrific performance. What a clinic. What a demonstration of heart and his boxing ability and wow, punching power, unbelievable. Here you have a guy that was in front of him, who was the puncher, the crusher. You know, he goes the distance with Bradley, with Timothy Bradley. You know, and then he gives him a run for his money. And then here you go with a kid here that's, you know, they call him the world kid, right? That's only 20-0, okay? And it's taking a huge step up. A huge step up. I mean, that's what people think, and that's on paper. You're seeing that's a huge step against Abrigu, and it actually was. But he believes in himself. His team believes in him. We believe in him, and he passed that test with flying colors. With flying colors. This fight here, speaking as a fighter now myself, will take him to new heights. Emotionally, physically, mentally, he will be a whole new fighter. And it is just a pleasure to be working with him, and I'm excited to take him back to Brooklyn at the Barclays Center, and then bring him back over here, where we'll be hopefully doing world title defenses very soon. So we feel very confident that he has a very bright future ahead of him. So let me introduce to you Saddam Ali. Saddam.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure. It's a great feeling. First and foremost, I want to thank God. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm very happy with my performance. Abrigu is a tough guy. He got that knockout power, but I stayed focused throughout the whole fight. It was amazing. I want to thank HBO, of course, and Golden Boy, and the other promoters that was involved in this. It's a beautiful card, and I'm just excited for what's next. You know, I've been boxing since I was 8 years old. You know, and I'm 26 now. It's 18 years in. I knew I can do this. I really did. But I take nothing from Abrigu. He's a tough fighter. He got the power, but I'm ready for what's next. I'm ready for bigger and better things. And with God, I know I would get there. I want to thank everybody that believed in me. I want to thank everybody who doubted me, because that only gave me the motivation to prove them that I could do it. And I'm just really happy right now. I'm going to go back, talk to Golden Boy, see what we got next, and just take it by storm. Thank you, everybody.
This performance, you felt that it was so dominant. I mean, ultimately, you did better than Bradley beating Abrigu, which was so lost. Does that put you in the category where you can't get a fight because the guy is maybe a little bit intimidated with his presence?
Honestly, I never seen people run away from fighting me, really, so I don't see that happening. But you know, I went out there, I did what I had to do, and honestly, I feel I could do even better. But what's next for me, I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of people were looking at your last fight with Jeremy Bryan and saying you went life or death with him, but I think you know, when we were talking on the phone, you were saying that you were a much better boxer.
Right.
Before this, Ken Hirschman, after the fight, came up and said that Oscar said that you were going to beat him the way you did. What do you think he saw, and what did you know that we didn't know?
I take nothing away from Brian, but for that fight, like I said before, I felt weak because I was fasting for Ramadan. But you know, you learn a lesson all the time, and my lesson was not to fight around the time where I'm fasting for Ramadan. But De La Hoya believes in me. You know, he knows what I can do, and I just went out there and I did it.
Talk about the history of Brooklyn fighters that you were talking about before this. How much just right down the road from there?
It's a motivation, you know, just watching the Brooklyn guys come up, you know, but if you put your mind and your time into it, it's like Paulie does, put your mind and your time into it, you can do it. You know, Paulie was in my ear giving me good advice, it helps, that helped also.
I think Lem had one more question.
He was telling me to stay focused, even coming out to the ring. You know, don't let all the fans and everybody make you lose your mind and lose on what you got to do in that ring. And you know what? That really helped me because it does take your focus off when you got everybody cheering for you. And with the music playing and everything. So, I just stuck to the game plan and it just kept on going.
Saddam, congrats on a great performance
Thank
tonight. Fighters talk about if you go for the knockout, if you look for the knockout, that's when it doesn't come.
Yeah.
Was tonight an example of letting the knockout come and just fighting the fight?
For sure. I mean, because we've seen Abagu in fights. We've seen him get clipped very hard and always get up. So the knockout wasn't what I was looking for. I thought if it came, it came. But I prepared for 10 rounds. So I was trying to win round by round, and it came. It was a beautiful feeling.
Did you sense him weakening before you put him away?
Well, I seen he was hurt. I didn't think he was weakening out, but I just stayed on him. And, the referee called the fight. Thank you.
Question I have, this is like going from 8th grade to automatic freshman year of college. Can you bring me through the mental makeup? Again, was there any difference? Did you notice the difference when you're in with a top tier level fighter? Right again, right where you work, but take us through the mental makeup. Did you notice anything different there? Did you feel real comfortable? Obviously,
honestly, it was big, but at the same time, me making the Olympics and fighting over there with the crowd there as well, it's a big moment for me. So, I've had that experience in me, and I knew I can do it. So if you can believe, you will achieve. So, that's what I stuck to.
I noticed your posture change from 6 or 7 rounds. It seemed like you're so comfortable. Take us through. Again, I said right before the fight, you were going up, I said that 10 seconds that walk the ring, your life is going to change one way or another.
Right.
And now, obviously, the level is changed. Now, but my question again is, how comfortable did you feel at that point?
I felt comfortable. I didn't want to panic. I knew he was going to get aggressive, but I knew if I kept my movement and making him miss and making him work to hit me, then I would get the victory. And I just stuck to my game plan and it worked.
What does this do for your confidence level knowing that you've been in the ring with Brad?
Well, my confidence definitely built. I've always had confidence. I always know I can do it, but just seeing it happen builds more confidence, and I'm just ready for what's next.
How hard was it not to go toe-to-toe when you had it hurt? How hard was it not to?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you want to go to toe-to-toe because honestly, I'm the type that I like pleasing the fans, and I like making the fight exciting, but I can't give what Abagu wants. That's his fight. He's a little flat-footed and he has tremendous power, and in his mind, for him to beat me is him knocking me out. So I couldn't do it. There was times I would step in and throw hard punches, but overall I had to be the smart man in the ring and outbox him. Yeah, I did feel his power. I did feel he definitely can crack. I think he hit me with a left uppercut. He hit me with something, I'm not sure. I don't remember what round it was, but he did have power. But I kept my composure, stayed smart. One thing God gave me was being able to recover when I'm hurt, and not everybody has that, and I'm very happy that I do.
You were an incredible amateur. You won like every title you could win in the amateurs, but not every fighter that does great in the amateurs always becomes a very good pro. How satisfying is that you are able to make this transition?
It's a great feeling. You just got to be able to adapt. Amateurs and pro boxing is different in ways, but you got to know when to pick his shots, when to make somebody miss. It's little things that's important, and I'm glad that I have that.
With this victory, do you think that your next fight should be a title fight in the welterweight division?
No, I gotta go back to the scoring board and see what Golden Boy has for me. Could be a title fight. It could not be, but it only goes up from here. I can't really call the shots. I'll just see what happens.
What's a bigger moment for you when you made the Olympic team? Feeling-wise?
Yeah, I would have to say now because making the Olympics, that was as an amateur, and all that work I did, it all built up to being a professional and really shining in front of everybody. So this is bigger for me. I stepped up and I made it count, and it only goes up from here. And I'm excited. I'm still young, 26, and I'm just ready to keep climbing that ladder. Right. Well, I knew at the beginning of the rounds he was going to try to, come out strong and catch me with a punch and end the fight early, make it an easy night for him. So in the beginning, I was being cautious, picking him out, figuring things out. And after a while, I figured it out, and I took over from there. Right.
Myself included, we're going to get hurt in this fight. Just judging off of how
It's a great feeling. A lot of people didn't believe it could happen, and if you believe, you can achieve it. I just want to show everybody, it doesn't matter what people say. Just stick to what you can do and do it, and that's what I did.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saddam. Thank you very much. Now, we are just now waiting for Bernard Hopkins and the new undisputed world champion. Not sure who's coming out first, Kathy. But
I still want to have my statistic. He's the one who invited me tonight.
but we'll have him out shortly, so. Just want to say thank you very much to everyone here in Atlantic City. I mean, we had a tremendous turnout. The numbers we'll get to you shortly. 85-45. We had 8,545 people in here. So it was just a great show. And we're looking forward. We're really looking forward to bringing back more boxing to Atlantic City. Questions?
Yes, that was exactly my question. Now, how do you guys feel towards bringing more fights in, realigning, and it seems like there's so much potential in New York and Philadelphia. Just those two magazines that you guys did what would be the plan of attack to build this city that bringing these big events like this?
Yeah, well, I can tell you what Golden Boy is working on. We have a lot of we have several fights that we that are brewing. One of them that I'm really excited about that is not official. There's nothing, but we're just talking. But it's a fight that I really want, because the fans are asking for it, and that's the Danny Garcia fight with Peterson. I would love that fight to be here. That's one fight that deserves to be here. So there's options. It's exciting because Atlantic City, Kathy Duva opened up the door, so I have to thank her. We did over $1 million gate tonight, which was incredible. I mean, Atlantic City. People are talking about how it's down, but it's not out. And whatever we can do to contribute to keep the spirit up of Atlantic City and the history that Atlantic City has had with boxing, and just keep that alive. So it's our job as promoters to keep bringing those types of big events here. So I'm excited about that fight there with Danny and Peterson. We'll see what happens in the near future.
With the success of the partnership with Main Events in this bout, are there other bouts you're looking to do with Main Events as well?
Well, we haven't really discussed anything, but look, like I said, we are open to working with anybody. As long as we can make great fights, that's all that matters to me. Golden Boy Promotions, and I'm sure all the other promoters and Main Events, and we're all about not building walls but building bridges. And that's what boxing needs at this moment. And so with me on the helm at Golden Boy, I'm gonna make fights as a fighter. Thinking as a promoter, but also as a fighter, which obviously will inject some excitement back to boxing.
As a fighter, just talk about what you're feeling if you're watching Bernard in that final choose to engage with
As a fighter, I was waiting for that one moment. I was waiting for that one moment, for that one punch that he can land. I did see I did see Bernard Hopkins have difficulties, but I still felt that he was in control. That something wanted to make me believe that he was in control. You know, I mean, maybe it's because he's my partner at Golden Boy. Maybe it's because you know, I've built just a great relationship with him. So, or maybe it's just because he's 49 years old and I'm giving him all the benefit of the doubt that he's going to land that perfect punch and shock the whole world. I was playing it in my head. You know, it's like, I don't know why, but I kept on hearing like a Howard Cosell in my head, that voice, like, you know, shocking the world. Bernard Hopkins, one punch. But, hey, he faced a crusher. He faced a guy that is no joke. But look, that's Bernard Hopkins. I mean, he'll tell you for himself. I mean, facing the very best, the toughest, at 49 years old. I mean, it's like win or lose, draw. I mean, he's already a winner in my book.
Were you surprised at all by Sergey's technical skills, his head movement, his patience?
I was actually surprised, yes. I was actually surprised because he would engage and he would throw his thunderous punches, and then he would take a step back. He wasn't waiting that extra second to get hit. He was taking a step back, and that really presented. I mean, that caused Hopkins to think twice of throwing his punches. So, he did a great job. I mean, there's nothing you can say but good things about Kovalev. He did a tremendous job.
Why were you so confident that Saddam was ready to step up? His dad said he just was 20 steps up. I mean, it could have been, kind of disastrous if he got it. Why were you so confident?
Well, because of his amateur experience. And I saw something in him in his last fight where actually he didn't really look too good. Not like tonight. But I saw something that made me feel that he's ready for those the next step. You know, I think one thing about Saddam is that the tougher the challenge that's in front of him, the better he's gonna do. You know, and this was the perfect fight for him because it just now he's free. Now he knows in his head, now he knows in his heart that he belongs there with the best. I mean, this was the perfect fight for him. It was a dangerous fight, but it was a perfect fight.
What are your thoughts on the last round, the very last round? What was your thought when he took out his tongue at Sergey? And Sergey just went off on him.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that?
My thoughts were still, you know, Hopkins he's going to land that perfect punch. He's going to make him fall into the trap. I was thinking that to the last second, he's going to make him fall into the trap. But look, Sergey's he's a good fighter. He's a really good, solid fighter.
Peterson ducking Kaneka, 47-0 from the Argentine.
Who? I'm sorry?
Where we see Kaneka from the Argentine, 47-0. He won the elimination match. Why is Peterson asking for a bond?
Peterson?
Yeah, Peterson won't fight his #1 guy. He just won an elimination match. The man's 47-0 and nobody knows who he is in the Argentine. The other Argentine matches, he knocked him out. I think they want to strip Peterson and let the two Argentines fight it out. And Garcia owes Herrera a rematch.
Sir, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's that same frustration that you're feeling, I'm feeling it too. Wow. Believe me. Okay, he'll be here shortly. Bernard Hopkins, he's just doing his exams just to make sure everything's okay. So.
Hey, Oscar, do you think he played too much punishment for
He took some heavy shots. Yes, he did. You know, Bernard Hopkins is the type of fighter that will slip a few here and there, and you'll never catch Hopkins solid with a punch. He took a few solid punches, but he seemed okay. I mean, we looked at each other inside the ring, and you know, he took a deep breath. Like, I mean, this guy was a tough guy. You know. but he'll be okay.
Oscar, what did you think in that first round when Kovalev scored the knockdown on Hopkins?
I felt it was a punch, yes, but kind of like one of those flash knockdowns, you know, that I don't think he was hurt. I don't think he was hurt. It was a good punch. He landed the punch. He obviously deserved the knockdown, but I don't think it was one of those punches that was gonna kind of shake up Bernard Hopkins and wobble his legs.
What do you think it was that Hopkins was not able to do?
I'm sorry.
What do you think it was that Bernard was not able to do? So that he was never really able to turn the tide the way he has in the past.
He was. I believe, this is my humble opinion. I just believe that Kovalev was just using his distance, and timing Hopkins instead of just coming in and using his power and he was timing him. He knew when to get out. Just on time, so Hopkins won't come back with his counter punches.
Do you feel Kovalev was a better fighter after the fight than anybody was going into the fight?
Yes, I give a lot of credit to Kovalev. I mean, to beat somebody like Hopkins, and I don't care how old he is. It doesn't matter how old he is. To beat somebody like Hopkins, I mean, Kovalev did a tremendous job. He executed his game plan perfectly, and that's not easy to do against a legend like Bernard Hopkins.
To follow that up, you knew that he has punching power. Did you know he had that kind of athletic ability and maybe the boxing ability?
I really didn't know he had it because I've never seen it quite like this against a slick boxer like Bernard Hopkins. So he, obviously what it does to you as a fighter, facing a Hopkins, a legend, it takes you up to a whole new level. So I'm sure Kovalev is gonna become a complete fighter now because of this experience. So I mean, look, Kovalev is a tremendous fighter, and so I mean, Kathy at Main Events has a great fighter on her hands, and who's gonna do big things. So congratulations.
Question. You've been in this position, being a Hall of Fame fighter yourself at this level of the game of Bernard. At this point right now, you saw Bernard lose again against Chad Dawson. The fighter in your guys is here. When you leave the game, you want to leave your legacy, you want to pass the torch down to someone who's worth it. Chad fight, you feel that leaving Bernard got beat. The guy got beat his next fight. Do you think Bernard, at this point, where do you think Bernard is going to go? Honestly speaking, do you think the game now, this after this performance, live comfortably and say goodbye to the game?
I honestly think that Bernard Hopkins can go down in weight and challenge, let's say, for instance, a Julio Cesar Chavez, or he can challenge a fighter like Triple G. He can come up 100 to 170 pounds or 168. Fighters like that. Why not?
What do you think he'll do, though? Honestly.
I don't know what he'll do. But one thing for sure I know is that he's not going to retire.
Oscar, I have a question for Kathy.
Yes, please. For sure.
First of all, congratulations on having two different events on the same night. Congratulations on that. My question is, what is the plan to make a fight against Stevenson right now?
Well, there's no plan at the moment. Sergey is going to go home and meet his son, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. He hasn't met him yet. And then I'm going to talk to Peter Nelson from HBO next week, and we'll start working on his next fight. But at this point, there's no definitive plan to do anything.
Would you like it to be Stevenson?
I would like it to be the best deal. This one was for the glory. Next time we're fighting for money.
Thank you.
How fulfilling is this, given all that you had to go through to get in the big fight? You wanted to get Stevenson to go to Showtime.
We'll talk about it.
First of all, that's what we want to do. Make big fights
Right, Kathy? Right, big fights, right, Oscar? All right. We want to make big fights with all the champions. And when you put two guys in there that has pride and has championship titles, whether they're legends or they new champions or current champions, that we've got to build their legacy up from there. This, what you do, this what you risk, and this what boxing should be all about. And this what you'll get. So I just hope everybody enjoyed the main event, because there's more to come, at least from us. I can't speak from any other promoter, but at least from us, go to more promotion. It's looking to do big fights in big weight division. And the light heavyweight division, you just seen the best of the best in the ring. Any questions?
What about you?
What about me? Me fighting again? Asking me to fight right now, just like asking a woman that just was a 9-hour labor to have, she could have another baby. So, but I tell you what, I tell you what, you can't take nothing away from the champ. You can't take nothing away from Kovalev, Sergey. He fought a smart fight. He knew to do the things to not engage in something that's going to benefit me, which is, my style. But he fought a good fight, and you know what? Tonight was a good night for the light heavyweight division and for boxing. I really mean that. As this is the business side of Bernard Hopkins talking, because I have enough sense and enough knowledge of the game to understand where we talk before the fight. Y'all know what that is. Most of us mean it, but at the end of the day, this is what this should be about. I don't duck anyone, he don't duck anyone, and we showed tonight. We gave y'all, I'm hope and sure, some entertainment, and so, let's just hope this becomes something very, very, common in boxing. Any more questions?
Bernard?
Yes.
Call me?
Yeah.
You're always number one to me. You remember me from Philadelphia at the Police Empowerment Show?
After going 12 rounds of fighting, I don't remember nobody right now.
You was with me for 3 hours.
Thank you. When he's done, we'll come in the back.
Okay.
Media only, please. Media. Mark, come here. Come here.
Wow. Can you assess Kovalev's punching power? Is it dropped? That's not a common thing. What kind of puncher is he really? We've seen so many great knockouts. How hard is it?
Well, I think, not taking nothing away from him, but I think that one or two of those punches was flash knockdowns. It wasn't a punch where I was all over the place. I recovered very quickly, as you know. Well, I think the fight wouldn't have went the distance. But he's a. I just had a great chin. I can take a punch. I mean, forget the age. I can say 49 years old, 50. Bernard, you can take more than a punch. I'm not going to even ride on that. Y'all make that assessment. But I think, and I've never been in a business to prove whether I can take a punch or not, because I try to tell the fighters, including Sergio right now, is that you don't last long trying to take punches and proving you can take punches. Yes, we know that it's a possibly chance you're going to trying to hit somebody, but the volunteer to say you can take one is a fool. And if you want to stay around and be a great champion, that advice will take you a long way, because you got the skills, as you know. You got the titles to prove it. So my thing is, this man is a champion. As far as I'm concerned, he is the guy to beat at the light heavyweight division. And so for credibility, that's why I took a shot, because the danger is always there with a puncher. And obviously, the other light heavyweight didn't want to fight him. And I chose to fight him. And I'm not looking for a cigar for second place or a pat on the back. No, I'm not, because I'm not that type of guy. But I'm just saying I recognize real. And I've been in there with a lot of great fighters, from the middleweights to now. And Sergey is the real deal. I don't care if he's from here, United States, or Russia, or whatever. You got to respect the man And I respect him, and I'm pretty sure he respects me too.
Were you determined to last out that 12th round?
I was determined to try to hit him so I could put him down. I wouldn't. Did that look like it was trying to survive in the 12th? We was rumbling. I mean, think about it. It wasn't. Listen, I could have tried to hold him and grab him, with most sensible people would have tried to do, right? I was trying to swing and hopefully get some shots in where things could be changed around to the end, and that's what you're seeing in the 12th round. So no, I wasn't going to run around and hold and do things to just get by and say I survived. When you look at it tomorrow, when it's replayed on HBO, you will see in your own living room that me and Sergey was throwing punches all the way up to the bell ring, and that's what it's all about. Yes, I'm always a smart thinking fighter first, but sometimes you just got to bite down, man. And he bit down, and I bit down, and you know you got to respect that. You got to respect that.
Bernard, Oscar was talking about his ability to not fall into the traps that you've set in the past, and to keep distance. What is your overall assessment, scouting report, post-fight that you're breaking down on him?
Well, everything just said. I mean, it's not even hard to really to try to explain what you've already seen and what we just already talked about with the 3 or 4 questions before yours. First of all, he has, I believe, would be a Hall of Fame trainer who worked with me and I worked with him, and it's John David Jackson. And you got to give him the respect. Because John David Jackson, from whatever you think, is a student of the game, and he comes from the school of the game. And he had just as much training in Philadelphia when he lived there for many years, like myself. So you gotta look at his teacher too, not a trainer, a teacher, and you gotta look at that, and you gotta look at now what the product become, and it's just what it is. So when you got that, you can't take it for granted. You can't take that particular Sergey for granted, because you know he got a good teacher. You know, we say what we say to try to throw things off, but at the end of the day, we know that John been in the trenches with us. John been in the trenches by himself in Philadelphia for many, many years when he was champion. It's John David Jackson. So that has to be respected, and that played out today. So you have to give him credit and give him credit and applause right now, because he did a fine job.
Bernard, you had mentioned immediately afterwards some of the things that Sergey was doing that were giving you trouble. What were the things that you felt that you couldn't do during the fight?
Well, first of all, I couldn't overpower him. I couldn't overpower. I don't know if it just felt. I just felt like a middleweight in there, maybe a super middleweight, in there with a cruiserweight. I don't know what it looked like to y'all, but I couldn't get in the range that I wanted to get into, and the range was the length. You know, whether it was his height, his reach, his stepping back, because he was stepping back when I wanted to engage, and that's smart, because we are taught not to engage because a guy your opponent want to engage. I mean, you fight when you want to fight. You make him fight when you want to fight. That's part of the strategy of any seasoned fighter, is taught from a teacher that been taught himself, and that's what it was. I really couldn't get inside to do the work I wanted to do, and I had some success, but not a lot. I had some success here and there, but it wasn't enough to put some early rounds in the bank and get his respect to the point where he got off his game, because he never got off his game, and you know, there was some excitement at the end, but he controlled it earlier more than I did, or I got my little rounds at the end of the fight.
How much or how little of that do you feel is because you're 49 and can't do maybe what you might have been able to do a few years beforehand?
Well, everything he did because I'm 49 then. No. Listen, my age has been well publicized. I'll be 50 January 15th. I'm closing in on it. And like I said, I won't teach my kids or anybody else to be happy for second. I don't like to lose. My track record shows that. And to say 50, you won because of your age, that's taken away from him, and I don't think nobody should do that. I think that being 50 and being me is different than any other fighter you can put in there in any era with any guy that would do the game plan or map the game plan or study the game plan that Sergey did. You just got to take your hat off to him. But I know for a fact that win, lose, or draw, I don't go out saying I'm 49 because things didn't go my way. Because if you ain't supposed to be in there, you shouldn't be in the ring, no matter what age you are. If you don't want to be in there, what age you lose, you lose. So my thing is, I want to go in there and make history and be the light heavyweight champion of the world. Like I said to Oscar when he was doing this fight, or putting this fight together. And I told the world I wanted to leave the game, or at least establish what I did in the middleweight division. And I had my shot, and that's cool. That's what happens. Next.
One more question.
Bernard, you're one of the greatest fighters of my generation. I'd like to speak a very short.
No.
Any chance of a rematch?
A rematch with who? What? Man, I ain't figured. What? Yeah, no, we get a rematch at so we can eat a burger quicker. Veggie burger.
That guy right there. Can you stand up so he can see you? One last question.
Bernard, you spoke Wednesday on the radio. I asked you if you won, what would it mean? You said that'd be like asking Jordan which one of his 6 rings.
And you say great answer.
And I didn't have anything to say, but now that you got in the ring and saw how skilled he was, do you feel a sense of accomplishment that you got through this from where you were when we spoke the other day?
So you're asking me, do I feel a victory because I got through 12?
A sense of accomplishment that you got through.
But great answer, great question, but not if it's tied into tonight. Because to me, winning is everything. I don't compromise winning. Either you win or you lose. That's what I was taught, and that's the way I operate. Tonight, he was a better man, and that's cut and dry. You can't water down that. You can't add anything to that. He deserved to be respected amongst all the writers. And I'm gonna say this in front of everybody. I don't know how they're going to tally things up in the next Oscar couple of months or whatever, but he's a strong candidate for Fighter of the Year. He's a strong candidate for Fighter of the Year. Hey, listen, y'all don't want to do the vote. I'm just telling you. That's my opinion. You know why? Because ain't no one out there would have fought a fight like that, I don't believe, with me the way he did. He was smart, he was patient, he didn't get caught up in emotional when I tried to suck him in. And that was part of the early strategy that worked good for him. One more, you.
Bernard, question. We've seen you pass this torch down before with Dawson's fight, only to see you rebuild your legacy again. At this point in the game, if you do decide to walk away, do you feel that you can pass the torch down to a guy that's going to carry it for next year?
To pass the torch in light heavyweight division or pass the torch in boxing?
Light heavyweight.
Well, he already got the torch. I have to pass it.
Again.
He got the torch tonight. See, Sergey, I can speak Russian now. If you want me to tell him, I can. Tell him he already had the torch in the light heavyweight division.
He established that.
Because he established himself.
No, I'm asking you, do you feel comfortable?
He's answering you.
He's going to be able to carry it forward and go on.
Yes. Yes. I feel comfortable to say that as a light heavyweight champion, that if he wants to stay there and defend it, he's going to have it for a long time. It's up to him how long he want to keep it. He can keep it long enough. He kept the middleweight division belt for 12 years. It's up to him, and that's in time. We don't know yet. But I know right now, tonight, I can say that I'm not glad that I didn't win, but I can say that it's in good hands. Thank you.
Excuse me, can you stay there?
Hey, sit down. Sit down. Let's take a picture. If I know he was watching me when he was in high school, I would have got the hell out of there in 10 years.
All right, you guys, everybody, let's go.
So now that you gotta get down. We're going to hear from the champion in a moment.
Sorry.
Now that Bernard has made most of my speech for me, I don't have much left to say. We really appreciate his class and his incredible effort tonight. But as he said, the torch has been passed. I have a couple of thoughts. One is just the moment I sat down, I realized the last time I sat in that chair, the great Arturo Gatti was sitting next to me in that one. And I can't think of anyone who I'd more, it gives me more pleasure to say that he is the man sitting there now, that the man who has taken his place. I think he's going to have a great history in this room, in this building, in this sport, and nothing makes me happier than to be able to introduce him to you. I learned a long time ago in this business that generally you get the outcome in these great fights, the big fights. You get the outcome that is least likely, the one nobody expected. And I think tonight, to watch Sergey Kovalev outbox a great boxer, to go in there with John David's game plan and literally put on a clinic on how to box against a great boxer is pitch a shutout. I don't think that's anything anybody would have expected. I do think that is the least likely outcome. We got it. We found out he can go 12 rounds. We found out that he can box with the very best in the world. And again, Bernard said it all. The title is in very good hands. It's going to stay there for a long, long time. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you the WBO, WBA, and IBF light heavyweight champion of the world, the unified champion of the world, Sergey Crusher Kovalev.
Hello. Again, to everybody. I want to say only one thing is the most important for me, that I got my dream, one of my dreams in professional boxer. It's a unification fight, and I got 2 more titles. It's very exciting things for me. And I want to thank to my team, Main Events, and group of my coach, John Dave Jackson, Derek, and Juan, and Don Turner, my manager, Regis Klimas, and very big respect to Bernard Hopkins for this opportunity. He's 49 years old. It's unbelievable his age in fight with me. 12 rounds, I was very surprised. I hurt all my hands to punch his head. He's very very hard punches. Very big respect to him, and thanks to Golden Boy Promotion to make this opportunity for me. To all my fights, to everybody who came to this arena, Borough Hall Arena, who watched HBO last night. Any questions, please?
Lem, we'll start with you.
Have you talked to your wife yet?
No, I didn't yet because I do right now my job.
How hard was it? How hard was it? He just said he held your son the day after he was born, a couple days after. How hard was it not to be there and to be here?
John. I think that my son understand and will understand everything, and my wife understand everything, because what I'm doing right now, I'm doing for my family, for my future and the future of my family. You know, like if no fight, and we'll be at home with my wife and with my child, not fight. When I get the money, when I get 2 more titles, you know, like on the street, no, enough. I did enough job in Russia on the street. Right now, I wanna fight with the best fighters in the world on HBO.
Sergey. 2 questions. Was there a point early in the fight where you said this is easier than I thought it was going to be? If you were getting them in boxing?
No, it was not easy than I thought. It was how I thought, you know. Like I was ready for 12 rounds. It was I fought with the best fighter in the world in light heavyweight. It's Bernard Hopkins. Come on, he's a very great boxer.
And you said you had a lot of jobs in Russia on the streets. What were some of those jobs?
What I did the job? I washed the cars, I sell newspapers when I was a child, but not for all life, you know. I began get some money from the boxing since 15 years old, 14 years old, you know. Small money, but it was more motivation. If you winning a Russian championship, you have a bonus. It was a big motivation, you know, like, but right now it's the more motivation, because different fights, different money, different team, different motivations. Yes.
Sergey, hold on.
Sorry.
I have questions both for Sergey as well as for John David Jackson. What was the strategy that you had brought into the fight? I noticed that you did have, Sergey, you were doing the right-hand counter over his jab, over his left hook. What was your approach, and also what did you train for Bernard to do and to respond to?
What you saw, this was a strategy.
And John David, Sergey.
Yes.
Yes, I heard Captain. Hold on.
The strategy was pretty much what Sergey did. Walk him down behind the jab, go to the body. You know, Bernard's a great fighter, but his time has come, and you know he had to do what he wanted and what he needed to do. That was not looking for one-shot knockout, because you wouldn't get that. So he had to use that jab and make Bernard throw the body shots, which slowed Bernard down and allowed him to every now and then be successful with his combinations. And he dropped Bernard once and staggered him a couple of times. But it wasn't an easy task, and we knew that going in. That'd be tough to not only try and stop him, but to try to knock him out. So we weren't looking for the knockout. We were just looking to dissect him each round and hopefully have it turn out the way it did. Unanimous decision in our favor.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Sergey. I was asking. Okay. Quick question. Kathy, earlier before we came up the stage, Kathy said that this fight is for glory, and then the next fight would be for the money. I know you want to fight Stevenson next. Is there any chance of getting out away from where he's now, maybe come here, or you know, maybe in Brooklyn, Walkies, or anything like that, getting Stevenson out away from home to fight?
Any place. Any place.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, any place. For me, doesn't matter where, but it's Katie. Every all questions to Katie.
I'll figure it out.
If she will say, I need to get this fight, I'm ready.
Okay.
John, John, you said earlier you wanted to fight the best. Now you got 3 belts, so arguably you're the best. Who are next on the list? Can you name a couple of guys that you think are
Good enough for me, or not?
Hold on, Russian comes. Russians comes, you know, like right now will be more interesting fighters. Right now I can't to say somebody. Right now live one legend, you know, like, but I think so. To Bernard, you need to stop already his career, you know, like 49 years old. Come on, it's the greatest result record in the boxing world. 49. He was a holder two titles. I don't know. I can't do this in the future. I don't know, but right now, who is one more champion? WBC, Stevenson. Yeah, maybe he will be next opponent. We'll see. All questions to my promoter.
Sergey, Bernard, he's not just frustrating in the ring. He usually gets inside of his opponent's head and gets them intimidated before the fight, but he didn't do that with you. How important was that, and what did you do to make sure he didn't get inside of your head?
I don't know how to answer this question. Because my mind ready for everything, you know, like I lived when I grew up and what I passed in my life made me very strong, you know, like I'm ready for everything in the world, and what not broken me, making me just stronger. And Bernard grew up in some ghetto, yeah, here in America. But where I grew up, it's maybe same. And my mind was ready for everything, like what he can offer.
It's very hard to penetrate the Spanish market sometimes, and there's not that many Latino fighters at the light heavyweight division. Would you be willing to come down to like 168 and try to challenge somebody like Chavez and build your name among the Latino community, sort of like Triple G's doing, going out to California and try to fight some of the Mexican guys and the Latino guys? What is your strategy to penetrate the Latino community?
I'm feeling very comfortable in my division. Why I need to change something if I have success in my division, you know, like, and I didn't finish clean up this division, you know, like I need to get one more title. It's my next goal.
And I think the Latino market is going to appreciate a guy who's a great boxer,
welcome to
great puncher.
light heavyweight.
Yes.
You just beat a legend, and that should be enough. But for some reason, we want to see you also try to come and challenge some of the Latinos guys. I know that it's not your fault. You don't have that many options, so that's why Chavez is a great name.
We can't cut off his arm, so Chavez is going to have to come up.
Yeah, welcome to 75. No problem.
That's right. You can't make 168.
Last question, Mike.
Congratulations for the long road.
Over there.
Thank you.
My question to you is, all right, you went to, again, this is like major graduation, ring legend, technician. What new tricks did you learn from that?
You know, yeah, he's a professor of the boxing. How I said before the fight. Yes, it's true. But sometimes student can be better than his teacher. Yes. But what I got from this lesson, 12 rounds of the boxing with a legend. How need to boxing 12 rounds? Everybody asked can I box in 12 rounds or not? I showed that I can to fight 12 rounds. I got this experience, how to fight 12 rounds.
Was that almost more rewarding than getting the knockout? Was that almost more rewarding to sustain that type of, intensity over 12 rounds against Bernard Hopkins?
I tried to finish this fight in 12 rounds, over of 12 rounds, but I didn't because he has very hard head. Yes, I hurt my hands. Like really. Come on. He got a lot of hard punch from me, but he stayed on his legs like unbelievable. I was surprised, but I tried. I'm happy for, I said before, any win, any victory, score decision, or I'm happy for this victory, because it was a big fight. I'm sure that it was is the most interesting fight for boxing fans and boxing world in this year.
When did you earn your?
And I think.
Yeah, one more question, and I need to call to my wife, please.
When did you earn your round during the fight?
When?
When did you earn?
Second round.
Second round?
Yeah, from my jab.
And on that note, I think we got some vodka and caviar waiting, and Sergey's
I didn't call my wife,
she's going to get really mad soon. Yeah.
Thank you so much
thank you,
everybody.
everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.